we actually think about prioritizing trees and green infrastructure in these places? What does it take from a municipal perspective to make that happen?
Cleaner air, cleaner water, and really importantly in this area, cooling effects. So this area has experienced heat islands, and trees are super important for reducing the effects of any kind of future climate events where we experience extreme heat.
Excited about supporting the work Gresham is doing, in part because we need to start figuring out what are the most effective strategies to put into place. And the Climate Action Plan starts to spell out some of those strategies and what can actually be done to turn down the temperatures when a heat wave comes through, to get people out of harm's way when flooding happens, to be able to keep people safe when a wildfire smoke event happens here. So a lot of these extreme events are affecting the infrastructure as well as the public's health, and finding effective ways to get people out of harm's way is really at the core of a lot of this strategy work that we're doing. So there are two sides of the climate action strategy. The first is reducing the total greenhouse gas emissions that a community produces. There's a second side to this, and that's the preparedness side, or the adaptation side. And that is what we can do because we've already emitted a lot of greenhouse gases and the climate is already undergoing a lot of transformation.
You know, we had a vision of building this community center and preschool, and for us, adding the sustainability features as much as we could was desirable. And I think what the partnership with the city really enabled us to do is bring in more resources to enable solar on the roof and battery storage.
Projects like this, it's such a great example of how the community is involved with the process and how we can't do this alone. And we need this infrastructure not only on the city side, but also a great facilities like this that serve the community.
We should be very proud as a city to be making this kind of equity-based investment in the community.
Tonight is our solar and electrification workshop. There's a lot of environmental impact that comes from energy, which we might not think of because on our end, all we have to do is flip a switch. But there's huge impact, and so tonight is learning what we can do to reduce that. So there's the financial incentives that come from reducing your energy impact, which is always a big plus when you get to save money.
We have implemented renewable diesel in May of 2024. Everything from our fire trucks to our heavy equipment that runs diesel. Renewable diesel is beneficial in the fact that it reduces greenhouse gases up to 75% over fossil fuels.
Our energy bill, let's start off with that. It was just getting way too high during the winter, and we tried reducing energy use. We tried replacing appliances. We knew the heater was going to be the main concern.
In Anna's case here, there was baseboard heat, and we switched that baseboard heat into 2 ductless heat pump units. Use about the same energy as one baseboard unit. And so we're really able to reduce significantly the energy burden in this house. And that's just better for the environment. It's also better for the client's bottom line.
And then also looking at each neighborhood in Gresham can get involved is through the neighborhood tree plans for increasing canopy in their neighborhood.
And you can sign up to volunteer, and it's an awesome day of planting. There's coffee, you get a little dirty. You know, it's an awesome community outlet. And in the process, you're supporting your community and where you live, and I don't think there's anything better than that.